Hello, I'm Harvey Barnes from Business Department, and I'm here to talk about HTTP. So, what is HTTP? HTTP or Hypertext Transfer Protocol is the set of rules for the transferring files, such as text, images, sound, video, and other multimedia files over the web. As soon as a user opens their web browser, they are indirectly using HTTP. HTTP is an application protocol that runs on the top of the TCP or IP suite of protocols, which form the foundation of the Internet. The latest version of HTTP is HTTP 2, which was published in May 2015. It is an alternative to its predecessor, HTTP 1.1, but does it not it make obsolete. How HTTP works? Through the HTTP protocols, resources are exchanged between client devices and servers over the internet. Clients devices send requests to the servers for the resources needed to load a web page. The server sends responses back to the client to fulfill the request. Requests and responses share sub-documents such as data and image, text layouts, etc., which are pieced together by a client. We browser to display the full web page file. In addition to the web page files, it can serve a web server contains an HTTP daemon, a program that waits for the HTTP requests and handles them when they arrive. A web browser is an HTTP client that sends requests to the server. When the browser user enters file requests by either opening a web file by typing in a URL or clicking on a hypertext link, the browser builds an HTTP request and sends it to the Internet Protocol address or IP address indicated by the URL. The HTTP daemon in the destination server receives the request and sends back the requested file or files associated with the request. HTTP cache. Caching is very important for fast websites. This article describes different methods of caching and how to use HTTP headers to control them. HTTP cookies. When serving an HTTP request, a server can send a set cookie HTTP header with a response. The client then returns the cookie's values with every request to the same server in the form of a cookie request header. The cookie can also be set to expire on a certain date or restricted to the specific domain and path. HTTP versus HTTPS. HTTPS is the use of secure sockets layer or SSL or transport layer security TLS as a sublayer under regular HTTP application layering. The HTTPS encrypts and decrypts user HTTP pages requests as well as the pages that are returned by the web server. It also protects against eavesdropping and man-in-the-middle or MITM attacks. HTTPS was developed by Netscape. Migrating from the HTTP to HTTPS is considered beneficial as it offers an added layer of security and trust. HTTP request. This is when a client device such as an internet browser asks the server for the information needed to load the website. The request provides the server with the desired information. It needs to tailor its response to the client device. Each HTTP request contains encoded data with information such as the specific version of HTTP followed. HTTP and HTTP2 are the two versions. A URL, this points to the resources on the web. An HTTP method, this indicates the specific action the request expects to receive from the server in its response. HTTP request header, this includes data such as what type of browser is being used and what data request seeking from the server. An HTTP body, this is optional information the server needs from the request, such as user forms, username or password logins, short responses, and fast upload that are being submitted to the website. HTTP responses. The HTTP response message is a data received by a client device from the web server. As its name suggests, the response is the server reply to an HTTP request. The information contained in an HTTP response is tailored to the context server received from the request. HTTP responses typically include the following data. HTTP status code, which indicates the status of the request to the client devices. Responses may indicate success and informational response, erratic or errors on the server or client side. HTTP response header, which send information about the server and requested resources. And HTTP body or optional. If a request is successful, this contains the requested data in the form of HTML code, which is translated into a web page by the client browser. HTTP status codes in response to HTTP request server often issue response codes indicating the request is being processed. There was an error in the request or that the request is being redirected. Common response codes include 200 OK. This means that the request such as gets or posts work and is being acted upon. 300 move permanently. This response code means that the URL of the requested resource has been changed permanently. 401 unauthorized. The client or user making the request of the server has not been authenticated. 403 forbidden. The client identity is known but has not been given access authorization. 404 not found. This is the most frequently error code. It means that the URL is not recognized or the location does not exist. 500 internet server error. The server has encountered a situation it doesn't know how to handle. Proxies in the HTTP. Proxies or proxy server are the application layer servers, computers, or other machines that go between the client device and the server. Proxies relay HTTP requests and responses between the client and server. Typically, there are one or more proxies for each client-server interaction. Web developers can use proxies for the following purposes. Caching. Cache the server can save web pages or other internet contents locally for the faster content retrieval and to reduce the demand for the site's bandwidth. Authentication. Controlling access privilege to applications and online information. Logging. The storage of historical data such as IP addresses of clients that sent requests to the server. Web filtering. Controlling access to the web page that can compromise security or include inappropriate content. Load balancing. Client requests to the server can be handled by multiple servers rather than just one.